further resource the biosecurity sector.
Call Kevin Haig.
Thank you very much, Mr Speaker. This evening there's been a fair amount of self-congratulation from some of the government members, and I just want to begin by correcting a logical error that's appeared in several of their speeches, and that is that finding a pest, finding the Queensland fruit fly in Mount Roskill, is not evidence that the system works. It is evidence that the system is not a complete failure. We actually don't know how good our system is. We do know there have already been some very substantial and dangerous incursions, and that we have ample evidence of the risk of many others. But, sir, what I wanted to spend the bulk of my time on this evening was on an aspect of this issue of biosecurity that has not been explored in the debate tonight, and that is the importance of biosecurity not for our primary industries but for our natural biodiversity. Because, sir, I've said previously in debates on this bill and on other biosecurity measures, the flora and fauna of this country is unique in the world. If it does not survive here, it is lost to the world forever. So the consequence of biosecurity risks are not only to the primary industries, and I'm sure everybody in the House shares concern about those, but also to the natural world. And yet this bill, the measures that it includes, and all of the thinking that underpins it, have been largely silent on that issue. Now, so why is that a problem? It's a problem because of the consequence of targeting. When we choose to target a particular set of measures or a particular set of issues, we are implicitly choosing to de-target everything else. And what that means is when we target even more the primary industries through this bill, we are placing even less emphasis on the importance of protecting our natural biodiversity. And so that's a major problem. It's also a problem within the measures of the bill, because one of the things that I anticipate and confidently predict will occur under this bill is that with these government industry agreements, those sectors that are able to afford a significant investment into such agreements will be the ones that get the great treatment from I was going to say MAF biosecurity, sir, but from our biosecurity services. Those sectors that cannot will not get that same service. And conservation, our natural biodiversity, will be at the very end of the queue. But, sir, the consequences for conservation of this bill are worse still than those that I've mentioned, because one of the provisions of this bill will bind the Crown to regional pest plans, and that, sir, is not in and of itself a problem. In fact, it's probably a good thing to do. But that new obligation, which will have, at the very least, a multi-million-dollar impact and liability on the Department of Conservation, does not come matched with the funding to be able to meet that obligation. What it means, sir, is that in addition to effectively less protection from biosecurity risks for our conservation estate, for our natural biodiversity, in addition to that problem, there will also be effectively a major funding cut to the Department of Conservation, because funds that were intended to protect our natural biodiversity through vote conservation will be lost to the sector. So, sir, multiple problems for conservation. I wanted to finish, sir, by talking briefly about free trade, because it seems to me that in many ways biosecurity is the victim of the obsession with free trade that seems to have gripped this country in several ways. No one argues that there is enough money to pay for all of the things that one could possibly do to protect our country from biosecurity risks. But, sir, given unlimited risks that are proportional to the amount of stuff that we import and limited dollars, the logical, rational response would be to take whatever steps we can to restrict the imports. We don't do that, sir, because of the obsession with free trade. The Green Party opposes the bill.
Call Michael Woodhouse.
Mr Speaker, it's my great pleasure to take the what I think is the last call in this